Hello everyone and welcome to the new episode of ProVeg Talk. I'm very excited to be your host on this journey to the world of plant-based nutrition and food innovation and all exciting things happening in the food system. I'm Valentina Gallani, I'm Health and Nutrition Manager at ProVeg International, and I'm a nutritionist and a food technologist. If you're new here, in each episode we cover different topics with different guests from different backgrounds to better understand the relationship between nutrition, health, and sustainability with a plant-based perspective. So whether you're a long-time plant-based eater or just a plant curious, you're in the right place. I'm very excited because this is our final episode of the season. I wanted to take a moment to look back at the incredible progress we did in 2025. This year has truly been a landmark year with major publications, global summits, and powerful policy changes that underline the shift towards healthy and sustainable and plant-based rich diets. So let's dive in our year in the review in the most important milestone of 2025. I would like to start with global sciences policy momentum. This year began with a strengthened scientific foundation, and finally the new 2025 EAT-Lancet Commission report updated the planetary health diet is out. With even clearer messages as the one published before. Plant-rich diets don't just help the planet, they could prevent up to 15 million premature deaths every year. And unlike previous edition, this one places justice front and center, which is really great, calling for policy that make nutritious, sustainable food accessible to everyone, and not just for Western countries. This scientific momentum carried directly into global policy. At the Nutrition for Growth Summit in Paris, world leaders set new committees as the UN Decade of Action Nutrition officially closed. And this was a great reminder that nutrition is a cornerstone of human development. And then we need to mention, obviously, the COP30 that just finished the past weeks. And it was kind of the climate negotiation, and was very important in Belém. And it's the very first time food system became an official priority for COP30. And the presidency delivered concrete moves, hopefully. Billions invested in regenerative landscape, new coalition to protect the Amazon forest, and expanded support for nature-based solution. And the UN's Food System Transformation Progress Report confirmed that more countries are now integrating food system strategies in their own climate and biodiversity plan. This is a really big win for all of us, and at ProVeg, I think all the other organizations that are working for this, we are really proud, and we're happy, and we are willing to see what is gonna happen in the future. And then we move on to the evaluation of the plate, so innovation and corporate action. While policymaker debates frameworks, innovation reshape the food on our planets. The alternative protein sector pivoted towards simpler, more recognizable plant ingredients. And when I say more recognizable, I mean that we all know about this ultra-processed food debate that we are having in the past years, and consumers are really looking forward let's say, ingredients that are more understandable to them and are more recognizable. Novel proteins like fava beans, lentil, and sunflower came into play in the industry, and the continued advances in precision fermentation and algae-based protein is something that we also have to talk about. Corporate accountability also grew stronger. And for example, Lidl International adopted a standardized methodology to track its protein transition, setting new benchmark for transparency across global retail. And this is really good because it can be an example for other retailers. When we talk about bridging health and planet and the farming revolution, we knew that a major theme of the year is the connection between soil health and human health, nutrient density, and which means the concentration of vitamins and minerals in the food was shown to be deeply influenced by the farming practices, and is something that we really need to take care for the future. This pushed a lot the debate on regenerative agriculture, and more companies showcase efforts to restore soil, support biodiversity, and try to sequester carbon. This reinforced the idea that a healthy diets depend a lot on ecosystem, and that we really need to protect those ecosystems. In terms of nutrition, which is obviously my favorite topic, we see plenty of things happening in 2025 in both technology and medication. In terms of technology, we see like how the nutrition is reshaping itself every year. For example, AI-driven precision nutrition became very mainstream. Also, the using microbiome insights, fitness data, and all type of advanced wearables, from watches to rings and so on, to produce personalized dietary guidance. I would say this year probably is the very first time that precision and personalized nutrition are moving on really fast and became an important topic into the nutrition world. And the idea of like one diet fits all is declining a lot, which is good because from my point of view, we're very similar. All of us are very similar. And that's why dietary guidance is super important, because they give us exactly guidance on how to eat properly. On the other hand, it's important to frame them into the different type of people and population, where they live, where which tradition they have, especially on food. So I guess this more personalized nutrition is good, and on the other hand, is still something that we need to investigate in, especially in this type of technology. And if we see AI for exactly try to create a better personalized nutrition, but also, for example, in procurement, we saw AI working a lot for manufacturers and global retailers and so on to simplify the work. On the other hand, we saw a huge growth of the medication GLP-1 called Ozempic or Wegovy, I don't know, it depends on the country that you live in. And this rise of this medicine significantly influenced eating patterns. We know that people taking GLP-1 eats less and differently from before. And in a positive way, this medication can really support people try to managing obesity and type 2 diabetes, and encourage a shift towards more nutrient-dense food, because we know that people taking this medication tend to not eat anymore like high fat and high sugar food, but they try to prioritize protein and fiber and really like density food. On the other hand, there are some negative points. They created challenges. So the reduced appetite in general puts people at risk of micronutrient deficiency and in a loss of muscle mass, which are probably the main side effect at the moment, together with nausea and gastrointestinal issues. And I would also want to add that GLP-1 can be a problem and a threat for people suffering from eating disorder and other type of pathology. So it's something that has positive, obviously we saw has positive effects, but also negative, and we need to talk about them, especially that we still don't have long-term studies on this medication. And talking about policy and specifically across Europe, we saw that Europe delivers several transformative policies this year. In Denmark, for example, and they announced our first carbon tax on livestock, really good. In Portugal began to develop a national plant-based action plan. In Belgium, we saw that they updated the dietary guidelines, emphasizing legumes and pulses and weekly as a weekly protein priority, which is good. And in Spain, finally, fruits and vegetables are mandatory in school meals across the country. And these changes go behind symbolism. They are really reshaping the national food environments, and we are really happy about it. In terms of global realities, if we talk about hunger, inequality, and slow SDG progress, I want just to mention some things. Progress didn't erase the urgent challenges. So acute hunger continued to rise, affecting more than 295 million of people, driven by conflicts, climate extremes, economic instabilities, and we know that the war was not definitely a good thing for people. Only about a third of the Sustainable Development Goals are on track, and this is really not good. We need to take more steps towards these goals. And these realities highlight the need for stronger investment, equity, and resilience in global food system. And we saw, unfortunately, like a step back from the European Commission. So we really want to push the plant-based transition, try to offer a scalable solution, but this requires political courage and international collaboration from different parties. And yes, so I think this was pretty much it. We covered COP30. We talk about the farmers, the soil, ecosystem, and other important things that happened in the 2025. But I really want to take a moment to highlight the ProVeg achievements in 2025. Against this global backdrop, ProVeg family made a lot of effort and measured strides. Internationally, ProVeg helped lead the Belém Declaration on plant-rich diets, pushing it for nation action plans ahead of COP30. Across Europe, national teams accelerate institutional change. For example, in the UK, school play expanded to reach over 2 million children daily. In Germany, ProVeg helped secure official recognition of the health and environmental benefits of plant-based diets. We published the ProVeg food plates, and as well in Germany, the price study was really good, and for the first time, it shows that a complete plant-based basket can be cheaper than one containing also animal-based product. In Portugal, the team ensured plant-based protein strategies were added to the National Energy and Climate Plan. This is all really good winning for ProVeg, but for all of us. And in terms of research and advocacy, big contribution from launching food system data with a lot of fact sheet and data sheet on the most important topic regarding environmental and health topics, but also food system topics and whatever concern the climate crisis we are living in at the moment. And together with this, the release of a major fish alternatives report called Out of the Net. This was really good for us as well. And as we mentioned before, the ProVeg price studies show that try to find alternatives to our usual diet is easy and can be cheaper, and is a big win for the planet, for us, and for the animals. And last but not least, the ProVeg Incubator alumni raised over 400 million to keep driving food innovation. So it was an extremely interesting year, I would say, from global science, shaping international summits, to government setting world first taxes and changing school menus. It's clear that the food system is finally transitioning and changing, and this is kind of accelerating. On the other hand, we saw a step back from EU Commission, for example, in changing the names of some products, of plant-based alternatives products. And now we saw the ban of words as burger and sausages. I don't want to say too much about this, but it was definitely a step back from the EU Commission. We saw the ban of cultivated meat in Hungary and Italy, even though this is still like a question mark, because the countries has to be aligned, the UE countries has to be aligned on this specific topic. And I would still say that COP30, also the UN summit in Paris this summer for the health of the sea was really important, and EAT-Lancet Commission new planetary health diet publication are probably the most important things of this year, and we need to be thankful because of those. So great, I'm really happy I was your host for this year. Thanks a lot to all our listeners and to all our guests that participated this year in ProVeg Talks, Health and Nutrition series with me. If you enjoyed, please subscribe and leave us a comment or a review. We go very amazing and interesting guests for the next year. I hope we see you soon, and until there, stay curious, stay kind, and stay plant-powered.